This strange-looking metal is stronger than a speeding bullet.
I really think that this material is going to have a big hit in the future.
At a space-age hotel, this robot handles your bags.
It's unique. It's one of a kind.
A bike helmet helps urban planners map out future cities.
Right now, we have dozens of cyclists collecting mental data as part of this pilot study.
And the mirror of the future has a memory.
It's nice to be able to see the 360 view, to see all perspectives of the dress.
New inventions help create the future. I'm Chuck Pell. I'm an artist, entrepreneur, and futurist. And we'll take a tour of tomorrow's gadgetry in this edition of Earth 2050.
Welcome to Earth 2050. You know, doing this show, I've met all sorts of inventors and entrepreneurs, people who are literally investing in the future. This week, we'd like to introduce you to some of these people and their unusual inventions that will change your life.
We don't think about air as something that can protect us. But oddly enough, that's what it does every day in a lot of different ways. For example, the air in Earth's atmosphere serves as a protective layer, causing foreign objects like meteorites to burn up before they strike the planet's surface.
We have air around us, and that it helps us to withstand the heat from sun. It helps us to withstand the radiation.
Look at it this way. If you wanted to transport an egg, you wouldn't put it in a steel box. You'd put it in a cardboard or styrofoam container. Why? Because the air in those materials provides cushioning, the protection that keeps the egg safe. It's the whole concept behind something like foam rubber. It's soft, but the air inside it allows it to keep things from breaking. Most packing materials work simply because they capture air to provide protection.
In general, whenever you want to protect something against impact, you want to have that cushioning ability.
Well, that concept is entering the 21st century with a bang. This is slow-motion video of a high-powered bullet disintegrating upon impact. This takes bulletproof to a whole new level. The bullet is hitting a futuristic material called metal foam. And the way it works has a lot in common with the same basic idea that keeps your eggs from shattering when they're in a styrofoam carton. Metal foam uses air to cushion impact. But since you're doing it with metal instead of something soft like styrofoam, you get an unprecedented level of protection.
And if you can imagine using that for body armors, for army vehicles, for tanks, you name it.
I recently visited one of the labs where this material is being developed. What I saw was a variety of different metals made in such a way that the air is suspended within the metal. So it works kind of like foam rubber, but with hard metal instead of soft foam.
So how does the armor that is a composite like this, how does it defeat the bullet?
So the material squeeze down and take the energy of the bullet, and the bullet stops.
Here's what she's talking about. On the left is a cylinder made of old-fashioned metal. On the right is metal foam. Each cylinder was pushed with great force into a square of hard plastic. The square on the right is less deformed, more protected because the metal foam absorbed more of the energy when the cylinder was pushed into the plastic.
Metal foam is a sacrificing material. It absorbed the impact, it absorbed the energy and squeezed down, and as a result, whatever is behind it is protected.
When this type of metal is made, what look almost like BBs, you can see them in the foreground here, are put into the metal while it's in a molten state. The metal outside of the BBs becomes part of the product, but the air inside the BBs stays in place, in the metal. When hit with something hard, those air pockets help absorb the impact.
This composite metal foam, made of hollow steel spheres embedded in aluminum, can absorb 70 times the energy that this piece of aluminum can. But this weighs about half as much.
Imagine it. If your car bumper is not only lighter but stronger, your odds of surviving an impact like this go way up. And that's a lifesaver, potentially for millions of people.
I'm confident if I put my material in front of a car, and I've said that before, I would be volunteered to sit in that car and hit it to the wall instead of dummy and show that the material really absorbs the impact energy and can protect the passenger in the car.
For 10,000 years, human beings have made use of metal. And we mostly think of it as metal or an alloy of metals, and it's solid. When we want something like cars and planes to be light and strong, we think of unusual alloys of titanium or aluminum or something like that. Once we understand how to make metal composite foams and all of the other things that will follow from them, everything we know about strength and weight in metals will change, and we'll have a complete renaissance in how to build things, both on Earth and in space.
Coming up, this robot is this future hotel's newest employee.
It's a serious piece of equipment, and it's the most videoed attraction that we have on property.
Welcome back to Earth 2050. On this show, we've seen robots play soccer, stack shelves in a factory, help teach autistic kids, even serve as a helpmate around the house. The robot revolution is just beginning, and it's coming to your schools, your workplace, and your kitchen. Soon, robots will be everywhere.
So there's all kinds of robots being developed right now. There's robots that look like insects. There's robots that look like people. There's robots that look like animals, and industrial robots that don't really look like anything other than a machine.
New York, of course, is a city that prides itself on being a trendsetter. And this place is on top of the robot trend in a big way. This hotel of the future, called the Yotel, has a major attention grabber right in its lobby. A robot that sorts and stores visitors' luggage. It's called the Yobot.
We allow guests to create their own experiences, and that's why we use technology. In today's world, time is a premium. So our job is also to sell time and productivity. It's our job to make sure our guests are as productive as they want to be when they're here.
And there's nothing like a robot to help save time. At a hotel like this in Midtown Manhattan, guests arrive at all hours of the day and night. Thousands of people go through this lobby every day. Most of them are off to do business or see the sights. Time is expensive almost everywhere, but maybe more so in New York. So this hotel is set up to be as efficient as possible.
We're very focused on making everything count.
At the Yotel, you can check in and take care of your luggage by dealing with machines. If you want to deal with hotel staff, that's easy to do. But you also have the option of letting robots and computers take care of everything you need. The entire hotel is automated.
95% of our check-in and check-outs happen on a kiosk, which means that the guests have their time in their control and they choose how they check in and how they actually use that entire check-in process.
The Yobot moves hundreds of pieces of luggage every day. All a guest does is press their room number, drop off their bags, and the Yobot takes care of everything else. It's one heavy-duty machine. In fact, it's the technological cousin of these robots used to help build cars. Same technology, different job.
It's a serious piece of equipment, and it's what you can see on almost any factory assembly line. We just decided to use it for something different.
The Yobot has proven so popular that it's become its own tourist destination. It gets its picture taken hundreds of times every day. In a decade or so, hotel guests may be used to this kind of thing. But for now, Yobot is an eye-popping novelty.
Our guests are mesmerized by it because it's unique, it's one of a kind. If you just spend some time down there, you can see both grown-up and kids completely in awe of what it's doing, and they stand there and film it, and they stand there and just see other people use it.
Robots like Yobot are helping people with a common task. They have to move their luggage. But there are millions of common tasks in everyday life. So imagine, what do you do today that you have to do over and over? There are an endless number of tedious, boring tasks that it's better to have a robot do instead of you. Robots, ideally, free us up to spend our lives doing the things that only humans can do. And let the things that are dull and dangerous and dirty, let the robots do that.
Coming up, new tech puts some new shine into the old-fashioned mirror.
I don't think I can go back to regular mirror again.
Welcome back to Earth 2050. New technology is becoming a daily part of our lives. It's in our vehicles, our homes, our workplaces. These days, tech is also becoming a part of the most personal of things, our clothing.
I think with wearable technology, what you're doing is taking technology from its sort of traditional place of being at arm's length on a computer or texting or, disconnected from the body, and really wrapping the body with technology.
Yes, even the catwalk is going high-tech. The things we're wearing and the machines we're using to make the things we wear are undergoing a profound transformation. However, one piece of fashion technology, the mirror, has remained unchanged over thousands of years. After all, it's simple and it works perfectly, but now even it is undergoing a makeover. This new piece of tech is called the memory mirror.
This product was developed in order to evolve for the mirror.
Why would the mirror need to evolve? Well, the answer is standing right in front of you. The old-fashioned mirror can't provide a 360-degree image. The memory mirror can, and as the name indicates, it's got a memory.
So this is the first time in the history that the mirror actually can remember you. So the current mirrors that we have for thousands of years, you stand in front of them and you see a reflection and it's gone. But in our mirror, actually, you can stand in front of it, you can try on things, and the mirror will remember it.
This mirror of the future records your image in 8-second clips as you stand in front of it, and then plays those images back to you. You can see any piece of clothing from any angle in real time.
I think the mirror is amazing. It gives you a really good perspective into turning around and to step away to see the dress fully. It's a nice way to be able to differentiate from a regular mirror.
With the memory mirror, there's no more looking over your shoulder to see how a piece of clothing looks from behind you. You just step away from the mirror and watch how you look. At the press of a button, you can change the color of any garment and see how it looks without having to change clothes over and over again. At this Neiman Marcus store in California, it's a big hit.
This really has enhanced and actually revolutionized the customer experience in our stores. We need to be relevant in everything that we do, and this technology has made us relevant, even more so.
The images created by the memory mirror can be downloaded to your phone and are password protected, so they're yours and no one else's. So if you want family and friends to weigh in on a big-ticket item, like a wedding dress, this tech lets you do that. And that is a big change from the traditional mirror.
People love it. Some people like the social aspect. They like to share with friends and family and get immediate feedback.
Of course, the magic mirror isn't confined to clothing. People can model handbags and all sorts of accessories, even eyewear or different hairstyles. But for now, it's mainly used for clothing. And this combination of digital tech and old-fashioned shopping could change the way we buy clothes.
It's nice to be able to see the 360-degree view, and it's nice to be able to share it with others. And it's also nice to be able to compare dress to dress without having to make a decision right away, because you can take it home and decide later.
Having that kind of option is no small thing, especially when you consider that the clothing industry generates $3 trillion worth of revenue a year. It's yet another instance of technology, even perfectly designed technology like the mirror, getting even better thanks to inventions that make the old new again.
Thousands of years ago, when we created our first mirrors, that was our first imaging device. Now, in a world full of digital screens and cameras, imaging devices have spread into every facet of our lives. It's kind of amazing that it took this long to have a magic digital mirror. Imagine what can happen next.
Coming up, brain power gets a boost from bike power.
We have conducted mind rides on all of Manhattan's major streets.
Welcome back to Earth 2050. Let's do a quick and slightly strange comparison between our brains and Manhattan. The human brain only weighs about 3 pounds, but it's been described as the most complicated object in the known universe. Manhattan is only 22 square miles, but it's home to nearly 2 million people. And it, as those who live there like to point out, is a pretty complicated place. Oddly enough, the future is bringing these two together courtesy of some old-fashioned technology, the bicycle, or more accurately, the bike helmet.
In this case, it is a literal application of the word mental, mind and map. And so there are a number of reasons why that's interesting to cities and, city-oriented or location-oriented organizations.
She's talking about the Mind Rider. This bike helmet of the future is equipped with sensors, essentially a tiny EEG system.
EEG stands for electroencephalography. And so electro is electricity, encephalography is a picture graph of the brain, encephalo. So electroencephalography is looking at the electrical picture of your brain.
It can be used to help choose where to build or not build roads, schools, businesses, and living spaces.
The reason that we are able to do this now as opposed to 5, 10, 15 years ago, one is that the technology has become light enough and portable enough and ergonomic enough to be able to outfit people moving throughout an environment. And it's also become cheap enough.
And hundreds of bicyclists are creating these brain pictures while they drive around the city. The rider's electrical brainwaves are picked up and transmitted directly into the bike helmet.
This attachment has two contacts that touch the skin. One is a contact right inside the helmet that touches the forehead, and that is the actual brain sensor. The other is a contact that clips to the ear, and that is a sensor that removes electrical signals that don't have anything to do with the brain, so we're just getting the brain data.
The collection of this brainwave data creates a giant database of information from all over Manhattan or anywhere. Urban planners want more information, not less. And the maps created with MindRider are constantly growing as bike riders keep inputting more data.
Right now, we have dozens of cyclists collecting mental data as part of this pilot study. And so what you're seeing in terms of the colors is that range from relaxation to concentration. And so the areas that are very red are areas of high concentration. We're calling them the hot spots. And the areas that are very green, like here, are the areas of high relaxation that we're calling the sweet spots.
This has also been called mental mapping, and that neatly explains what this technology is designed to do. If a rider is getting stressed because of heavy traffic or construction or bad roads, the MindRider logs the information. The same thing happens if the rider is enjoying the ride. No matter what happens, the brain is always firing electrical signals, and the EEG device is always recording them. This is combined with GPS information to let analysts know how these riders are experiencing their city as they move through it.
You are carrying around more computing power in your smartphone than was on Apollo 11 that went to the moon. I mean, that is just absolutely mind-blowing.
It turns out that in the not-too-distant future, the things we wear, like the MindRider bike helmet, will be much more than mere clothing. They'll help create the world we live in by providing information about that world and our always changing place in it.
To be honest, we're still figuring it out ourselves, and that it's a novel system.
Today, we saw a fraction of the innovative new devices that entrepreneurs are creating. Their working philosophy is, if there's a problem, there's a way to innovate our way out of it. And if something is already working, there's a way to make it work better.
I think especially as people start to become used to carrying computing devices and then having this notion of wearable technology, where technology is embedded into our jewelry, into our clothes, into our glasses, that kind of thing. The idea that people can collect and contribute data both for themselves and for their communities and for their cities is a notion that is more and more feasible.
That you can wear some of the new tech is a development with unlimited potential.
The world is moving fast and furious. Technology being very relevant, along with fashion. People want immediate responses and social validation. So this is definitely going to grow. We are the leaders in regards to this technology. It's amazing that the client is able to see a side-by-side shot and also a 360-degree view. So we do see this as a very valuable tool to use, and hopefully we will see more. And as technology advances, there will be updates to what we currently have as well.
And this can have life or death consequences. After all, an invention that makes for safer cars affects everyone.
I have no doubt that in 10, 20, 30 years, this material has a lot of application. The same way you see bubble wrap around you everywhere, you're going to see this material around you everywhere in a few decades.
I've seen inventions created by teens that are now in use in hospitals around the world. There's no limit to what you can create or who can do the creating. That's it for Earth 2050. I'm Chuck Pell. I'll see you next time.